We stand afraid of shadows cast by doubt, whispered fears of what they'll talk about. Got dreams that wait in line behind our pride, but courage lives where fear is set aside. So many dreams collected dust on shelves, scared to fail, so we hide our true selves. But life will pass and so will all those stares. Nobody's watching as much as we think they care. So step into the light, don't fear the fall. The only limits here are built by walls. Tear them down and seize what you deserve. You're stronger than the whispers you've heard. Got plans to make, but fear keeps you in place. Afraid to lose, or maybe scared to chase. But what if magic waits around the bend? Go grab it now, don't let the doubters win. We wear these masks to hide what we believe, but truth has power when worn on your sleeve. Reach for the stars, they're closer than they seem. Your path is clear, don't let them steal your dream. So step into the light, don't fear the fall. The only limits here are built by walls. Tear them down and seize what you deserve. You're stronger than the whispers you've heard. Got plans to make, but fear keeps you in place. Afraid to lose, or maybe scared to chase. But what if magic waits around the bend? Go grab it now, don't let the doubters win. We wear these masks to hide what we believe, but truth has power when worn on your sleeve. Reach for the stars, they're closer than they seem. Your path is clear, don't let them steal your dream.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? I am Teco Trough. We are Engineered to Win. This is the Coffee and Kata morning show. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully you were able to join last night on a tech Q&A. I had an amazing conversation with Bozito coding journey about his trying to transition into tech from being a videographer, a musician, a DJ, and being here in the United States and getting into more like exploring the tech field to see which one would be the right fit for him. Great conversation. So thank you so much to Bozito for joining in last night. We're going to be continuing working on our Gradio, learning large language models, implementing them together. We're going to see how that goes. Quick announcements before we jump into the show. We have at noon Eastern time today, we're going to be premiering, I'm going to be showing you how to create AWS access keys with your account so that you can be able to use AWS like through the command line, to be able to do it through Java, Python, JavaScript, whatever, but that's going to be the entry point. In order for you to be able to do all those things, you need to create your access keys. So I'm going to be showing you how to create the access keys next week, how to install the AWS CLI and configure it. And then the week after that, we're going to be going through uploading files in S3. Then we're going to be in another one for doing it with Python and doing it with Java, doing it with JavaScript, and all sorts of different things that we're going to be getting into. All right. So that's the what's coming up in the next couple of weeks. But today we're going to be premiering how to upload via not upload, but how to create your access keys inside the AWS console, because that's going to be the gateway to everything else. All right. Other announcements. Tomorrow night, we're going to be continuing with ethical hacking, working on our port scanner, all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I think those are all the announcements that we have. You guys know the schedule, right? But with that being said, let's jump into the show. Do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know every time we go live, and drop new content, techcoachref.dev. To sign up for the TechCoach Patreon, get access to exclusive content. I'm working on clipping up the meeting from last weekend where Magnetar showed us amazing details about the federal workforce, all of that good stuff, right? But yeah, so with that being said, let's jump right into working on this large language model stuff. All right, let me put up the banner for the show in case anybody is scrolling by like, oh wow, they're talking about large language models. I have an interest in that. Let me get familiar with that. Let me see. Where is my banner? There goes that one. There goes that one. And let's do it. All right. Gradio for UIs. So on Monday, we started exploring, learning more about Gradio, where it's open source. Let me put up 20 minutes as well. Let's go! Let's go! Makes it a little bit easier to clip up these videos when I have take like maybe a 1 minute break, 2 minute break in between these segments. But Gradio, it helps you create quick user interfaces based on your large language model. I'm sure it could do more, but I'm sure there's a lot more than just large language models. But from the little bit that we did with it on Monday, it is going to be super duper powerful. All right. Let's get started. Let's jump in, and then I will give some more commentary as we are working on it. So there goes my trusty Jupyter notebook with the day 2, and the ultimate plan for this, though, the ultimate plan is as we get more familiar with Gradio, using whatever they're showing us in the course, then we're going to implement it onto. Part of the course of this day 2 is implementing it as part of the web page summarizer that we did and the brochure. But then we are going to use it for our content creation workflow. So if you guys remember, the content creation workflow that I did helps me with generate all my metadata for my video. So the description, the title, giving you a title idea, the keywords. But I have to do it all through here. So I'm interested to see how will Gradio create for me a little UI that I can use to, streamline this instead of like always having to go in here and copy and paste. Maybe I can have a copy button next to each of them so that I can just click copy, and then we're going to find out. We're going to find out what are our capabilities with Gradio. But let's jump into day 2. Let me zoom in on this a little bit so you can see it better. All right. Let's see. What is this? So this was the one from yesterday asking how can we get our dear friend Roxy to try jujitsu. But unfortunately, the last one was like, oh, just be supportive. Let her be. I'm like, all right, fine. Okay. Let's continue on with the course, right? So this part says, let's create a call that streams back results. So for those who are new here, streaming back results is if you've used ChatGPT before or any other large language model, I'm hoping that you have at least used it before. But the streaming is when you type in a question or you're looking for some type of response. The streaming is when it's progressively giving you the results. It doesn't just give you, boom, here's the results. It's progressively streaming it back to you, in real time. That's what it means by stream back results. If you'd like a refresher on generators, the yield keyword, please take a look at the intermediate Python notebook in week 1 in the week 1 folder. All right. So this is saying define the function stream GPT, and you're going to pass in the prompt. So the prompt is what we're asking it to do. Good morning, Roxy. How are you doing today? Shout out to Roxy. Hopefully you are doing absolutely amazing. This is good morning to you. Good morning to you as well, Roxy. Perfect timing for this to hide the thing. Good morning, Roxy. Hopefully you are doing phenomenal. So happy to see you this morning. All right. So prompt is what we're asking it to do. So if we're like prompt, I need the formula to make the most amazing ribeye steak, right? So that's what you'd be passing into the prompt. And the system message, for those who don't remember, the system message would be the role that you want, like your LLM to take, right? So the system message would be, you are a master chef at a 5-star restaurant. All right. So that's why the system message is here, and we're setting it like from way above, and then the prompt is being passed into right here. So we're setting the system message outside. You could technically also do something like this where you're passing in the system message, and you would be saying, all right, I want to define my system message and I want to define my prompt, but for the most case, you're going to have the system message already defined. If you're building something where a user can define it, you could probably set that parameter globally, and the user can input it, and then it'll be throughout. So many ways around it. This is all through code. You can do all this, right? So we're building out the message body, and we're passing in the system context and the system message, and then we're passing the user context for the prompt that we're going to be asking. Here we're saying to stream OpenAI and chat completion create, and stream equals true. And then this is the part that is always tricky to me, where you are, I think they should simplify this code right here, but they're saying result equals, and the result is blank, and this is for chunk in stream. So what's being returned in the stream. So chunk, so when it's returning, it's just going to be providing you like in blocks, right? So they're saying in the stream response, which it's like returning as a list, do chunk, and then now for chunk choices, delta dot content. So maybe we'll print that out, right? And then your results. Let's see. So now let's go ahead and run that. Let's run this, right? Now, if we look at, so now this is going to be building the Gradio interface. So view equals gr.interface, and we're passing in the function of stream underscore GPT, and the input is going to be, so the input for, so this is right here, it's considered the input for the function of stream GPT. And we're going to be passing in, and we're going to be taking it as a text box with the label of your message. And then the output is going to be the in markdown format of response. All right. Flagging mode never. What is flag? I forgot what flagging mode never is. Let's do a quick research on that. What is flagging mode in Gradio? Flagging mode controls whether how the user can report issues or inaccuracies in your application's output. It's a mechanism for gathering feedback and identifying potential problems with your model or application. When a user sees an interesting or problematic output, they can flag it, and Gradio will store the input-output data for review. Interesting. Let's see. So we have flagging mode. So our options are how it works. Gradio provides a flag button with the interface, which users can click to report an issue. By default, when a user flags an input and output, Gradio saves it to a CSV file on the machine where the demo is running. Interesting. So one thing about Gradio as well is that you can make a public URL. I think it lasts about 24 to 72 hours. And other people can access your Gradio sample that you did. Let's see. All right, so it's a CSV file. You can customize the flagging behavior by passing a flagging callback instance of the flagging callback parameter of the interface constructor. This allows you to control how flag data is handled, such as saving it to a database or sending it to a different location. So you can how you store it. Gradio supports different flagging modes. There's manual. Users can flag an input and output by clicking the flag button. Auto, every user input and the generated output will be automatically flagged, saving them to a CSV. So if you want to track data, then users cannot flag anything. You can also specify custom flagging options like, for example, like, spam, inappropriate, using the flagging option parameter, allowing the user to provide more specific feedback. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. You'll see on certain websites where you can decide like, oh, like or spam or inappropriate, especially on the response for these large language models. Let me say good morning to my guy, AR Smitty. What's up, AR Smitty? How are you doing today? And Roxy says that she is vacationing. Well deserved, well deserved, well deserved. All right. So with that knowledge about what the flagging mode is, let's go back into, this is where we're at. Let's go back into this flagging mode over here. And let's run this. So when running Gradio, it is going to run it on an available open port on your machine. So we have so if I click here, it's going to open up in a new browser. Probably what these are over here. Let me close some of these out. So it does it in two spots. Here, your message, and you can submit, clear, and also if we click over here, it will have it available for us here as well. So if we say that your message is, I need the best rib eye recipe, and I do submit, you see how our response is being streamed through here. And certainly here's a delicious and simple ribeye steak recipe that highlights the flavor and tenderness of the meat, and gives us all the details for that amazing ribeye steak. Medium rare, 130 to 135. Sounds perfect to me. And medium is 135 to 140. I don't know. I think 145 is borderline sinning. I'm just saying. Anyways, let's continue. Let's see. Does it show up here? No. So, and we can also do the same thing here. Who makes? I'm not gonna do that. Who makes the best curry chicken? Let's see, who makes the best curry chicken? The term curry chicken can refer to a dish made by various cultures and cuisines around the world. So it isn't specific to one maker or establishment. Different regions have their own unique recipes and variations. Here are a few examples: Indian cuisine, Caribbean cuisine, Southeast Asian cuisine, Chinese cuisine. And it describes like all the different styles. So, and you can be like, oh, okay, let me see how the Indians make it, with the variety of spices, tomatoes, and yogurt or cream. Usually it can be very, very spicy. Caribbean cuisine, in the Caribbean, especially in countries like Jamaica, curry chicken is made with curry powder, allspice, and often features ingredients like coconut milk, scotch bonnet peppers. It is a staple dish in many Caribbean homes and restaurants. Southeast Asian cuisine. In countries like Thailand and Malaysia, the curry chicken might include coconut milk, lemongrass, and various herbs, differing significantly in taste and preparation. And Chinese cuisine, the Chinese make it as well. Some Chinese restaurants offer a version of curry chicken that typically includes curry sauce with vegetables. Interesting. All right, cool. So look how this quickly creates a nice looking UI where we can prompt it in here, and then we have an output and it's in streaming mode right here. So that's really cool. Let's see. So this one is streaming with Claude. And Roxy says, all right, hold up. Hey, Roxy's like, Roxy says that the large language model is wrong. Says Roxy, Rock the Script Roxy makes the best curry chicken in the world. She might be right. She might be right. Are you saying yours is very spicy, or are you saying the ones that we were reading about the Indian curry chicken or chicken curry is very spicy? Which one is very spicy? Is it yours, or is it the ones that the Indian cuisine? Because I'll tell you a quick story, right? I'll tell you a quick story. I had a friend, or I still have this friend, to be fair. I still have this friend, but she was like, "Oh yeah, you should try this Indian restaurant." And I'm like, all right, cool. So I went over there and I'm ordering, and I got the biryani rice. This is like, has to be like almost 10 years ago, maybe more. Maybe more than 10 years ago. So I get the biryani rice, and they asked me, what level of spiciness do you want? And I'm like, I don't know, what's the levels? It says between 1 and 5. I said, okay. I'm guessing like 1 is not spicy at all, and 5 is like the most spicy. I said, you know what? Meet me in the middle. Give me a 3. I'm telling you that after I took my first bite, I felt like I was breathing fire. You remember how Dylon, like the 5 best rappers, Dylon, because I spit hot fire. I felt like I was spitting hot fire because that biryani rice was so spicy. That's what happened. That is what happened. Roxy says that her chicken curry is very, very spicy. Uh-oh. I don't know about that.
Do not come.
I don't know if I can handle that, Roxy. I don't know if I can handle that spice. All right. Let's continue on. Let's see. So this one says for Stream Claude, and we are using... So this one says results equals Claude.messages.stream using the Claude 3 Haiku model from 2024. Max tokens 1,000. I'm going to reduce that real quick. I'm not trying to have them use all my tokens up. I'm going to reduce that to like 2. Let's go to 250. 250. Right? So we're passing in the system message. We're passing in the prompt, raw user content. Claude sets up Anthropic sets up their system message a little bit different than OpenAI does. If we look at over here, OpenAI sets up inside the whole message array. They have the system for like the raw system content, and then for the prompt. So it's all inside one array. However, with Anthropic, they have it where the system is outside of the message. So inside the message row is just the user prompt that you're passing in. And then here, response results as stream for text in stream, dot text stream response, and you're adding to the text or if it's empty. All right, so let's go ahead and do one for Anthropic for Claude. So let me set this one, and we're gonna go and we're gonna build our UI for Anthropic, and let's go with let's see another I don't know why I keep asking about food today. Maybe I woke up hungry. What is a where did the hamburger originate from? And we submit. The hamburger, and in case you didn't know about this, right? The hamburger is not called the hamburger because it contains ham, because the hamburger contains beef, right? But the hamburger is believed to have originated in Germany, specifically in the city of Hamburg. Believe it or not. Here's a brief history of the hamburger's origin. Hamburg steak, the earliest known precursor to the modern hamburger, was the Hamburg steak, which was popularized in the 19th century. This was a dish of ground beef that was seasoned and formed into patties, then fried or broiled. German immigrants to the United States. In the late 19th century, German immigrants brought the Hamburg steak with them when they came to the United States. These immigrants helped to introduce and popularize the dish in America. So now, how did we get to the actual buns on the burger? That's what I want to know. So the first hamburger, the exact origin of the first true hamburger is a matter of debate, but it generally believed to have been created in the late 19th or 20th or early 20th century. Several individuals and establishments have been credited with inventing the modern hamburger, including Louis Layson of Louis Lunch in New Haven, Connecticut, and Charlie Negreen of Seymour, Wisconsin. Interesting. That is very interesting. So I'm guessing that they were the first to, they're being credited with being the first to put on the buns on the hamburger. And look, where's the rest of the answer? Where's the rest of the answer? Oh, okay. That's because I limited my tokens to 250, and Claude said, "All right, well, you want 250 tokens? This is what you're gonna get. If the popularization and commercialization, and as the hamburger gained, and then that's all for you. No more soup for you." I can live with that. I can live with that. All right. Let's continue on. So, all right, let's see. So minor improvement. I've made a small improvement to the code. Previously, it had for chunk and result yield chunk. There's actually, I remember I was saying there's a better way to do it.
Lunch break.
Well, we will pick up from here after we take about a 1 to 2 minute break to see what is going on. All right. That way we have a good separation in the show. All right. So, we've learned about steak. We've learned about, and I would say that is not the best way to cook a perfect steak. I'm just going to say that, but it is what it is. We learned about steak. We learned about curry chicken, the different regions of the world, different cultures that make curry chicken. Shout out to Roxy being the best curry chicken in the world. And we learned a little bit about the history of hamburgers before Claude cut us off.
Bruh.
All right, so let me check the chat really quick. Roxy says that her curry chicken is the most spiciest in the world and said that I, Tech Coach Ralph, am a lightweight. And guess what, Roxy? Guess what? I 1000% agree with you. I am a scaredy cat when it comes to spices. I mean, I can do a little bit of spice, but trust me, like I'm telling you, I was breathing fire with it. It's not a good look. It is not a good look. Roxy says, I wish I made the best. Look, guess what, Roxy? As long as the people who are close to you know that yours is the best, that's all that really matters, because not everyone in the world is going to look. There might be a roadie restaurant right down the street from my house that makes the best roadies in the world, but guess what? I might not know it because I've never been there. I'll give you an example. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the I guess I could call them a chain franchise kind restaurant. It's a Jamaican restaurant called Golden Crust. And my Jamaican friends will swear by the life of me that they are terrible, right? But, and it's, it doesn't compare to anything like the jerk chicken. It doesn't compare like anything to the jerk chicken in Jamaica. I'm like, look, I've never been to Jamaica. So for me, what I can go judge off of commercially is going to be the Jamaican restaurants that are here. So I'm like, shout out to Samir over on YouTube. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for subscribing. But like I was saying, right? I can only consider what's the best based on what I've had. So look, if the people who have had your curry chicken say it's the best, then guess what, Roxy? It is the best. Let's go. All right. let's continue on with, let's get back to, we have 15 minutes. Let's continue on with the show. Let's wrap up these 15 minutes of work. All right, let's get back. Quick little break. All right, let's see. So there's actually a more elegant way to achieve this, which Python people might call more Pythonic, yield from results. I'm not familiar with that. I cover this more in detail in the intermediate Python notebook in week 1 folder. Take a look if you'd like more. I will check that out. Shout out to my guy, Wave Nerd, in the building. Shout out to you, Wave Nerd. Good morning. How are you doing today?
We the best.
All right, so let me see. Stream model. Sorry, they're adding more to this. Let's go to, I want to take a quick look at that yield thing that they're talking about in week 1. Week 1, intermediate. Did I ever open this? Maybe I never opened this. Getting you up to speed. This course assumes that you're an intermediate level of Python. For example, you should have a decent idea what something like this might do. You know what, to be fair, I never really understood yield that much. So I should definitely go back and revisit it. I know I learned it, but I never really, I don't use it much. Yield from book.getAuthor for books and books if books is get author. Okay. If not, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the crash course in intermediate level Python. The best way to learn is by doing. I just want to know what the yield is. Let's see. Trying to jump to the yield. We looked at that. I don't know. I'll follow up on the yield later on. Looking through this didn't really help much. But let's continue with this. All right. So let's see. I covered this more in detail. All right. We got that. So this is saying define stream model. So you're putting the prompt and the model. So this is similar to what I have in here, where I'm able to say which one I want to use, which LLM I want to use, and what's my prompt. And we are passing, if the model is GPT, then we're doing the stream underscore GPT. If it is Claude, then we're passing in the stream Claude. And if we don't pass anything, or if we don't put, well, you kind of do need something in there, but if you don't put if you put a different random name, then we are going to get an error. So it's yield from results. So let's give it a try. And we are here. It says view. So we're going to build this interface, and basically it's the same thing, but oh, look at that. There's a drop down associated now. So drop down GPT or Claude, and label, select model. And I guess by default it's going to be defaulting to GPT. And then the same response. All right. So let's do that. Let's open this in a new browser. Your message. So because they have this in a drop down, let me see. Can I type something? Oh, okay. Maybe I can't type something. Let's see. So by default it has GPT selected, and let's go with your message of, what message should we put in here? How fast can a Tesla go? Let's see. So, all right. So it gives us Tesla Model S up to 200 miles an hour, Model 3 up to 162, Model X 163, Model Y 155. These speeds can vary based on driving conditions, software updates, yada yada. All right. So now we can go to this Claude over here and change the model, and we can say, let's go for, how is bacon made? I'm not sure if I don't know if I should ask that question, but we're here now. Bacon is a type of salt-cured pork that is typically smoked. Here's a brief overview of how bacon is made. Pork belly selection. The process starts with selecting high-quality pork bellies. I absolutely love pork belly, which are the fattier part of the pig inner side. Curing. Pork bellies are cured using a combination of salt, nitrates, and sometimes other seasoning like sugar, pepper, or spices. The curing process helps to preserve the meat, enhance the flavor, and develop a characteristic of pink color of the bacon. Then you can smoking optional, slicing, packaging, distribution, stuff like that. Let's see. Wave Nerd says, ask what dev positions are going to be the most valuable in the AI age. Why certainly. So before I do that though, let me just want to try something out. So if I was to say, let me see if I just type in Gemini, what would happen if it's going to give me an error. Oh, maybe it won't even let me. Because if I click, let me see. Let's see what happens. Oh, it reverts back to Claude. Okay. I was just trying to see if I was to type something in here, if it's only going to select one of these, which it is. All right. So let me take Wave Nerd's question, and we're going to go with what dev positions are going to be the most valuable in the AI age. There you go. So what ChatGPT is telling us is that in the AI age, machine learning, design and implement machine learning models, algorithms, data processing, model evaluation, data science or data scientists, AI research scientists. So what does an AI research scientist do? So conduct research to develop new algorithms and approaches in AI, deep understanding of machine learning theories, mathematics, and often requires a PhD in a related field. Interesting. Well, research scientist does kind of require a PhD, but for AI, that's interesting. AI ethics consultants. Ethics? What? Ensure AI systems are designed and used ethically, addressing biases and fairness. What? Skills, understanding ethical implications, policy making, and regulatory knowledge. Natural language processing and NLP engineer. Build systems that understand and interpret human language. Skills, expertise in linguistics, machine learning, and programming languages. AI product engineer, DevOps engineer for AI. DevOps engineer for AI. That's interesting. Focus on the deployment and maintenance of AI models in production. Knowledge of cloud services, CI/CD pipelines, and software development practices. Interesting. Robotics engineer, design and build robots that incorporate AI to perform tasks, like my vacuum robot. Let's see. AI software developer, develop software applications that utilize AI techniques, strong programming skills and understanding of AI techniques. So now my question is the AI software engineer considered a vibe coder? Or is the AI software developer the person who builds the platforms for the vibe coders? I don't know. Blockchain developer for AI. And so, I mean, there's a lot of roles. However, based on what Bozito Coding Journey asked me yesterday about AIQ engineer, it did not make the list over here. Maybe it's a different thing. Let's see. Is there such thing as an AIQA engineer? Oops, submit. Yes, there is such a role as AIQ engineer. The role combines the principles of quality assurance with artificial intelligence technologies. Here are some aspects of the AIQ engineer. Look at that, I stand corrected. Testing AI models, evaluate. So remember I said like the way that I could see it is if you are building AI models. So that's what I said yesterday. Like if you are actually working on building the large language models, there needs to be some form of testing and validation for it. But for any random company having an AI Q engineer, that's hard for me to see that happening. Let's see. So evaluate the performance of machine learning models, ensuring they meet expected criteria and performance benchmarks. Data quality validation, ensure the training data used for AI models is accurate, relevant, and free from biases which can adversely affect model outcomes. Automated testing, develop and implement automated test scripts and frameworks specifically tailored for AI applications. Performance evaluations, compliance and ethical standards, required skills, technical proficiency. So if you are interested in learning more about if you're interested in being a QA engineer and you see that the shift is towards AI, this is telling you, look, AI is telling you what you need in order to be able to work proficiently with it to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do. So technical or skills required, technical skills, proficiency with programming languages, Python or Java and others. Fact, agree with that. Familiarity with AI/machine learning frameworks, TensorFlow, PyTorch. That means that on our list, we need to start getting more familiar with TensorFlow and PyTorch because we're integrating with the large language models, but in order to, we need to get more familiar with these frameworks. So TensorFlow, PyTorch, it's on our list of things to do. Testing expertise, knowledge of software testing methodologies and tools, particularly those relevant to AI systems. Statistical analysis, understanding a statistical concept to validate models, predictions, and performance. Now, I wonder if I should have took statistics in high school instead of calculus, all right? Problem solving, ability to identify issues in AI outputs and troubleshoot effectively. So as AI technologies become more prevalent, the need for specialized QA engineers who understand how to assess the quality and reliability of AI systems is growing. This is crucial for ensuring that AI applications deliver accurate results and do not perpetuate biases or errors. So that is pretty interesting. Shout out to my guy Wave Nerd who took us down this rabbit hole. Shout out to Wave Nerd. Let's see. Let's go back to here. Building a generator, building a company brochure generator. You know how. It's simple. So we have 3 minutes left in the show today. So what we're going to do on Monday, we will be back and we will be working on turning this brochure into a we're going to add a UI around the brochure, right? So we're going to make it look nice. Let's see, a class representative. So let's just start reading it a little bit, but we're gonna dive deep into it on Monday. So the class for website, which we did before, let's see. We might have to go and revisit that project to see. I don't remember all the details of the project, so we might have to revisit it. And then, so we'll read the instructions from Monday or from week 1, day 5 to see how we built the brochure. And then we'll come back over here and we will implement a UI using Gradio for this, right? But I see the code, but I don't remember all the details about it. So that'll be the plan for Mondays from the brochure, company name, URL. I think we put the company name, we put the URL to their website, and then it's supposed to build the brochure for us. So, and I'll throw in Gemini on. Actually, yeah, I'll throw in Gemini on this too. Maybe even Perplexity to get more recent information. But let's leave it as that for today. Let's go to because with only less than 2 minutes to go, we're not gonna get far. So we're gonna leave it there. All right. Let me check the chat and then we are going to get out of here. Rod Brown, good morning. How are you doing today, Rod Brown?
Be the best.
Are you premiering anything today, Rod Brown? Just asking for a friend. Rod Brown says, it's a vibe. I hear you, Rod Brown. Yes. Rod Brown is our latest vibe coder. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everything is going well with you and your family, Rod Brown. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Shout out to Wave Nerd. Great idea to ask about the dev positions that are going to be needed. Learned a lot. So really, really cool. But yeah, that's about it for today. That is about it for today. Roxy, Wave Nerd, Rod Brown, everyone watching on Twitch, everyone watching on X, everyone watching on YouTube. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. This cheer is for you guys. We put in that work every single day. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. No days off. All right. But like I said, we are going to be premiering at noon Eastern time today. How to create AWS access keys in the console, and that's going to set us up to use them in many other places for the next going forward. All right, we need those access keys so that we can set up our access to doing different stuff. All right, but tomorrow night we're also going to be going live for working on ethical hacking, building out our port scanner. Do me a favor on your way out if you haven't done so already. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. If you aren't new here, like the video, share the video with a friend. And yeah, so let's do that. Hit the notifications so you know every time we go live and drop new content. TechCoachDrive.dev, get access to amazing information. Get access to a group of people who are learning, working so hard together. Something that I recommended to Bozito Coding Journey yesterday was, in order to simulate some type of real experience, find somebody who is building something and join with them so that you can work on providing the testing for it. So I'm always looking for people who are interested in learning how to do software development, and then pairing them with people who are learning how to do software testing so that you can learn together and build amazing products. All right. Let's see. All right. So that is it. Wave Nerd with the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Wave Nerd. Thank you so much to everybody who was here. You guys have an amazing day. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.